The last signal from Station 17. In the vast, uncharted expanse of the Orion Arm, where stars burned with a cold indifference, Station 17 clung to the edge of a rogue asteroid, a speck of human ambition in the cosmic void. The station was a relic, built during the Great Expansion when humanity, drunk on dreams of interstellar dominion, scattered outposts like seeds across the galaxy. Most were abandoned when the funding dried up, but Station 17 was different. It was the last to go silent, and for years, it had been a ghost story whispered among spacers in dimly lit bars on Titan and Europa. They said it broadcast a signal, a faint, rhythmic pulse that no one could decode. Some claimed it was a distress call. Others swore it was something older, something not human. I didn't believe any of it until I found myself aboard the Salver's Hope, a salvage ship bound for the station, chasing a contract that promised more credits than I'd seen in a decade. The crew was a ragtag bunch. Captain Mira, a grizzled exobiologist with a cybernetic eye that glowed faintly in the dark, Taz, our engineer, who spoke more to the ship's AI than to us, and me, Kale, a data slicer with a knack for cracking encrypted systems and a rap sheet longer than the asteroid belt. The job was simple: board Station 17, retrieve its data core, and get out. The client, some faceless corp out of Proxima Centauri, didn't care about the signal or the ghost stories. They wanted the station's research logs, something about experimental quantum relays that could revolutionize FTL comms. Easy money, Mira said. I should have known better. The approach took 3 days, and the asteroid loomed like a jagged scar against the starfield. Station 17 was a skeletal thing, all rusted panels and flickering lights, orbiting the asteroid in a decaying spiral. The signal hit us as soon as we were in range, a low, pulsing hum that vibrated through the Hope's hull. Taz swore it was interference, but it made my teeth ache like beady, like biting into foil. Mira docked us manually, her cybernetic eyes scanning readouts no one else could see. No life signs, she said, her voice clipped. But the core's still active. Kale, you're up. The station's airlock groaned as it opened, and we stepped into a tomb. The corridors were narrow, lined with frost and the faint glow of emergency lights that hadn't died in decades. The air was stale, heavy with the scent of metal and something acrid I couldn't place. Taz muttered about power fluctuations, his scanner flickering as we moved deeper. The signal was louder here, a rhythmic thrum that seemed to come from the walls themselves. I tried to focus, running my slicer rig through the station's network, but every terminal I accessed spat back garbled code, strings of symbols that didn't match any human language. We found the data core in the central lab, a cavernous room filled with ancient equipment, glass tanks, wires dangling like vines, and a massive cylindrical core pulsing with faint blue light. Myra's eye twitched as she scanned it.
"This is it," she said.
"Kale, plug in and download everything." I connected my rig, but the moment I did, the signal spiked. The lights flickered, and the core hummed louder, like a heartbeat. My screen filled with data, logs, schematics, and something else, a video file labeled Final Transmission. Against Myra's orders, I played it. The screen crackled, and a face appeared, a scientist, her eyes wide with panic, her lab coat stained with something dark. "If you're hearing this," she said, her voice trembling, "you need to leave. The relay, it's not what we thought. It opened something. They're here. They're in the signal." The feed cut to static, but not before we heard a sound, a low, guttural hum that wasn't human. Taz yanked the plug from my rig, his face pale. "What the hell was that?" Mira didn't answer. She was staring at the core, her eye glowing brighter. "We're not alone," she whispered. That's when the lights went out. The signal surged, a deafening pulse that shook the floor. My rig sparked and died, and in the darkness, something moved, a shadow that wasn't ours, sliding across the walls. Taz screamed, his voice cut short as something wet and heavy hit the floor. I grabbed Myra's arm, pulling her toward the exit, but the corridors seemed to twist, the station itself reshaping around us. We ran, the signal pounding in our skulls, louder with every step. Doors slammed shut behind us, and the air grew thick, like breathing oil. Mira was muttering, her eye flickering erratically. "It's not a distress call," she said. "It's a beacon. They're using it to find us." I didn't ask who they were. I didn't want to know. My only thought was the hope, our lifeline back to sanity. But when we reached the airlock, the ship was gone. Undocked, drifting, its lights winking out in the distance. I don't know how long we stood there, staring at the void. The signal was all around us now, a chorus of voices that weren't voices, speaking in tongues older than the stars. Mira collapsed, her eye dark, her breath shallow. I tried to drag her, but my hands were shaking too hard. The station groaned, and the walls began to pulse, as if the metal itself was alive. I stumbled to a terminal, desperate to send a message, anything, to warn the next fool who came chasing ghost stories. But the screen only showed one thing, the signal, looping endlessly, a spiral of code that seemed to stare back. I'm still here, on Station 17 alone. Myra's gone, taken maybe, or just lost in the dark. The signal never stops, and sometimes, in the quiet, I hear footsteps that aren't mine. I'm sending this out, hoping someone finds it before they find the station. Don't come here. Don't listen to the signal. It's not a call for help. It's a lure,